Hi, for my project, I'm going to be focusing on UNESCO goal number 4, quality education. Now, before we begin, I'd like to take a second to explain the UNESCO goals. There are 17 different goals or target focuses implemented by the United Nations in 2015 in order to tackle various social issues. Now, what I'm going to be focusing on specifically today is goal number 4, quality education. Why education? I believe that education is one of the biggest investments a country can make into its people and its future. A quality education can empower future leaders to come together and help solve other social issues. In terms of education, the country I'm going to be focusing on specifically is Chad. Chad is a landlocked nation in northern Central Africa. It is about 500,000 square miles, or about 3 times the size of California. It is home to about 15.5 million people, many of which are very impoverished. The currency of Africa is the Central Africa franc. Now, in terms of the economic period, they rank in the bottom couple percent. They came in at 186th out of 189 on the Human Development Index. Living conditions are horrible, with many people forced to live in the streets with hundreds of others or in crumbled shacks or shanties. Chad is a nation currently stricken by war, which has only been contributing to their crumbling infrastructure. Cities are few and far between, so most of the people reside in villages spread throughout the countryside. The literacy rate of the nation as a whole is only about 48%. Roughly 8 million of Chad's population lives on less than the equivalent of $3.10 American cents per day, and about 4.7 million of the population live on less than the equivalent of $1.90 per day. Down the education issue, I'm going to focus on 3 different segments: education in rural villages, for young girls, and for impoverished children. Rural villages often do not have any connection to the rest of the country. What children are taught in schools is often very old-fashioned and relates to their tribe's customs or traditions. For the next segment, I'm going to focus on young girls. Young African girls often do not receive very much, if any, education at all. Their typical role in society is to help out around the house with chores, such as cooking or cleaning. It is not seen as important for girls to receive an education, as the majority of them are married and become mothers very early in their teenage years. Many poor children must forgo their opportunity for an education in order to help provide for their family's survival. They can't spend any time in the classroom because many children are often sent trekking miles every day just for water. Also, they have to help in the farms in order to help grow the food for a day-to-day basis. Thank you for listening to my presentation on quality education in Chad. Hope you enjoyed.